Hypatia of Alexandria, the woman who made power, nervous. What if one of the most important thinkers in the ancient world wasn't an emperor, wasn't a general, wasn't even a priest, but a teacher? And what if her greatest crime wasn't what she believed, but the fact that people listened to her? This is the story of Hypatia of Alexandria, a woman whose ideas outlived her enemies, whose authority came without permission, and whose name was almost erased from history. What you may have heard. You may have heard a dramatic version of Hypatia's story. In it, Hypatia is a brilliant pagan philosopher, a defender of science and reason, living in Alexandria as Christianity rises to power. A jealous bishop sees her as a threat. A mob of fanatical monks drags her from her chariot and kills her. Her death, the story goes, marks the end of ancient science, the moment religious fanaticism triumphs over free thought. It's a powerful story. It's easy to remember. And it's not entirely wrong, but it's not the real story. Who Hypatia actually was. Hypatia lived in Alexandria around the year 400 CE, one of the greatest intellectual cities in the ancient world. She was the daughter of Theon, a mathematician who edited and preserved works like Euclid's Elements and Ptolemy's Almagest. From him, Hypatia learned advanced mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy, subjects that required years of disciplined study. But Hypatia didn't remain in her father's shadow. She became the head of a Neoplatonic school, teaching elite students from across the Mediterranean. Some of those students were pagans, some were Christians, some would later become bishops and government officials, like her student Synesius of Cyrene. That alone made her unusual. But what made her truly remarkable was how she taught, and what she taught. What Hypatia taught. Hypatia was not teaching science the way we mean it today. She was teaching how to think. First, reason as moral discipline. Hypatia followed the Neoplatonic tradition, which believed that reason trains the soul. Clear thinking leads to ethical living. Self-control is a form of wisdom. Learning wasn't about winning arguments. It was about becoming the kind of person who could be trusted with truth. Second, mathematics as character training. She taught geometry and astronomy because math rewards patience. It punishes arrogance. And it does not care who you are. A geometric proof cannot be commanded. It cannot be intimidated. It must be understood. That lesson mattered in a city where power was increasingly enforced through status and force. Third, understanding without permission. Hypatia taught that the universe was rationally ordered, and that humans could approach that order through study and dialogue. No priest needed to authorize understanding. No institution owned truth. This did not deny God for her many Christian students, but it quietly bypassed those who claimed exclusive authority over meaning. How she got her power. Hypatia held no public office. She commanded no army. Her power came from something older and more dangerous. People trusted her. She lived modestly. She was known for restraint and integrity. She spoke calmly in a city addicted to spectacle. She appeared publicly in a philosopher's cloak. She advised civic leaders, including the Roman prefect Orestes. In an age when authority was increasingly tied to religious allegiance, Hypatia represented authority earned through competence. That made her indispensable. and it made her vulnerable. Why she became a target. By the early 5th century, Alexandria was unstable. Roman civic authority was weakening. Religious identity was hardening. Bishops were becoming political rulers as well as spiritual leaders. The city's bishop, Cyril, was educated, intelligent, and deeply committed to what he believed was truth. But he believed truth required guardianship and strong control over who spoke with authority in the city. Hypatia's existence complicated that. She taught Christians and pagans together. She encouraged careful thinking instead of emotional certainty. She slowed decisions that demanded speed. Rumors spread that she was blocking reconciliation between Cyril and Orestes, that she was secretly influencing politics, that she practiced magic. Magic was not just superstition. It was code for power without accountability. The murder and its meaning. In 415 CE, Hypatia was attacked by a Christian mob, probably linked to the bishop's followers. Dragged from her carriage, killed brutally, her body destroyed. This was not an official trial or legal execution. It was a breakdown of civic order. Her students lost a teacher. The city lost a mediator. And everyone learned a lesson. Neutrality was no longer safe. Why? You've probably never heard of her. Hypatia left no surviving books under her own name that we can securely identify today. She worked as a teacher, editor, and commentator, roles that history often forgets. Later writers turned her into a symbol. Others minimized her importance. Some ignored her entirely. She didn't found a religion. She didn't rule an empire. She taught. And history is often unkind to teachers, especially women whose authority doesn't fit institutional stories. What survived anyway? And yet, Hypatia's world of ideas survived. Her mathematical texts and commentaries were copied and recopied by later scholars. Her methods and curriculum passed to students who carried Neoplatonic and mathematical traditions forward. Greek learning moved east into Byzantine and Islamic centers, where authors translated and developed works by Euclid, Ptolemy, Diophantus, and others taught in schools like hers. Centuries later, those ideas returned to Europe in Latin translation. Her name faded. Her influence did not. This is how reason usually survives, not through conquest, but transmission. Why this still matters. Hypatia did not die simply because she challenged faith. She died because she showed that authority could exist without permission from any single institution. Her story reminds us that history is not just about ideas. It's about people who carry those ideas, often at great personal cost. And it reminds us of something else. Inquiry can be delayed. It can be suppressed. It can be misunderstood. But it always returns. Because as long as people are willing to teach, to learn, and to ask difficult questions, the flame of reason never fully goes out. Stay curious, and keep the flame of reason and inquiry burning bright.